Hello everyone. So, last video I mentioned I was going to talk about science. I find science very fun. Now, since I already proved there are problems with the atheistic worldview, I didn't put down every little thing that I've read. Just a few things in a couple different areas. Alright, so let's get to it. First off, there's the light travel problem. This is something that actually both sides have trouble with. You see, since stars are many millions of light years away, we shouldn't be able to see them unless the universe is millions of years old. There are many possible answers to this, but there's none that are concrete. However, for the atheist worldview, there is what's called microwave background radiation. Okay, it is much too uniform with the estimated age of the universe to be this uniform. Now, if you look at a picture of the radiation, it does not look uniform, but they artificially enhance the photos so that there can be a visible difference. Okay, next on the formation of stars. This is one I actually had to look up. So, reading directly from the site, stars are born when pockets of gas and dust within interstellar molecular clouds exceed critical density and collapse under their own gravity. Once the pressure and the temperature inside get high enough for nuclear fusion to ignite, it creates a star. The problem arises within the first sentence. The gas in nebula has pressure that exceeds the force of gravity, and since there's nothing to contain the gas, the pressure can't build. Here on Earth, you put enough gas into a container, yes, it will increase in pressure. Not so in space, because again, no container. On top of this, the clouds are spinning slowly. And if you know anything about centrifugal force, you know that when something pulls itself in tighter, it spins faster, and when things move faster, it pulls things out. So, if the spin were to accelerate, the clouds would push back out. On top of this, blue stars last only a million years or so. Considering we can see blue stars that are only a few thousand light years away, the universe must be less than a million years old, much less than what atheist claims. The layers in the Grand Canyon. So, the claim from scientists is that they were laid down with millions of years in between each layer. Now, I live out in the country, and after a good rain, you can see cuts and grooves crisscrossing, and over millions of years, there would be a lot of erosion that you should be able to see between the layers. You don't see that between the layers of the Grand Canyon. They are very smooth, seamless. Couldn't have millions of years in between them. Could be a global flood, though. And finally, we're going to talk about evolution, specifically macroevolution. Microevolution is indisputable. We've seen it happen. Okay, I've heard of mosquitoes getting separated for a few decades, and within that time, the two groups diverged enough to be incompatible with one another to reproduce. But they were still mosquitoes. They'll try to point to the fossil record to prove microevolution. But there are several missing pieces, such as going from fish who breathe with gills to amphibians who breathe with lungs. There would need to be massive organ rearranging for it to even be possible. and unless multiple specimens of a single species had one or more parts required for this change, the chances of the ones with the mutations living to reproduce aren't exactly good. On top of that, we've not really ever seen a beneficial mutation. Scientists even tried to speed up the evolutionary process by forcing mutations in flies. This created mutant flies that died more quickly than the non-mutated ones. There you have it. Just a few scientific examples that show the naturalistic, atheistic worldview cannot be true. Now, with all these videos, we've really just put everything down to either Christianity or Judaism. Next video, we will be showing which is true by looking at whether or not Jesus existed and if he fulfills the requirements for the messianic prophecies. Is he the Messiah? Good day, and God bless.